Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Whitetail Rendezvous is pleased to announce a partnership with GoHunt.com. Who's GoHunt.com? Well, if you're a DIY hunter, you need the information at GoHunt.com/insider. Why? Because it provides 4,200 profiles, every unit, every species, and every season. Furthermore, they give in-depth analysis, interactive maps, unit access, and seasonal trends. Draw odds are very important, and they give you the most accurate information in the business. All this is available when you go to GoHunt.com/insider. Make sure you use promo code WR when you join Insider. You'll get a $50 gift card for GoHunt.com Gear Shop. Remember, when you become a member of GoHunt.com/insider, you're going to get a $50 gift card to Go Hunt Gear Shop. What's in the gear shop? The best gear that you can buy for hunting the West. All in all, if you're hunting out West in 2018, GoHunt.com Insider is where you need to be to get all the research information. When you use promo code WR, Whitetail Rendezvous receives a small commission from GoHunt.com. Hey, folks, we got a new sponsor. It's called Buckwild Coffee. What's so special about Buckwild Coffee? Well, a gazillion people go to Starbucks every day and drink coffee. Well, why shouldn't Buckwild Coffee offer you light, medium, or dark roast with free shipping? All you have to do is go to whitetailrendezvous.com, go to shop, and order your coffee, and I'll ship it out for free. Hey, thanks so much for visiting Buckwild Coffee. The best brew in the West, the best brew around the campfire, the best brew in the hunting shack, the best brew anywhere. Buckwild Coffee. Get yours today. Producer of Whitetail Rendezvous here with my good friend John O'Brien. It's from snowy Madison, Wisconsin. And this is the final segment of the spring series with Whitetail Rendezvous. And we've been talking across the country with a number of people about land management and food plots. And John and I had a lot of discussions, webinars and seminars and everything about both food plots and land management. And we're going to wrap it up today. And John's going to start off with, so you think you know everything about a food plot. John, welcome to the show, and let's get rocking and rolling.
Thanks for having me again, and look forward to throwing some ideas at everybody out there.
Well, John, food plots exploded. When was the explosion of food plots? Let's go down, just get some down and dirty basics.
Yeah, one of the first companies that really started pushing specific food plot blends in a program was in the early 90s. Myself, I've been involved with selling seeds since I think it was 92. I planted my first food plot. And what the first food plot was basically just straight turnips. And I forgot the year, maybe 93, something like that. And again, but the industry as a whole, I really think people have been, even though people have been doing it per se for, maybe 25 years, I would say about the last 20 years is where things started ramping up. With more people focusing on it. But in general, the last 5 years is where we've seen more of an explosion because so many areas across the United States, including in my area in Wisconsin, they've restricted or banned the use of supplements and minerals. And as people have been getting more educated, they are realizing that that's the great way that's legal to supplement your deer herd. And B, if you're not doing food plots and your neighbors are, people are being forced to do it because they don't have deer on their property, and they're realizing, I think I know why. I got to keep up with the neighbors, the Joneses.
I was reading Deer and Deer Hunting last night, and Brilliant Manufacturing, which is Brilliant, Wisconsin, and they make farm implements, and that's what they did, agricultural implements for many, many, many years. Well, them and hundreds of other implement dealers now have a complete food plot line. just a complete food plot line to help, weekend farmers plant the seed. It's just an unbelievable business. Forget about the tonnage of seed. It's just all the ancillary business we're driving. So food plots is a huge business, and anytime you get a business like that, it's like, oh, you want to sell my seed? Yeah, we'll put Whitetail Rendezvous on this bag and to your logo. You don't have to do anything but just sell it. And I know nothing about it, folks. I know very little. I am not a farmer. I have friends like John that know what the hell they're talking about, so we can go from there. But so many people don't even read the tag on the bag. And let's talk about the bag tag right now, and that importance for everybody that's going to buy a bag of seed.
Well, there's a pro and a con with the industry. The pro is you get a more selection to choose from. There's more species that are being introduced. The con is everybody and their brother sees a window of opportunity. I mean, that's the American way. It's capitalism. They see a quick buck. They're like, you know what? I can make a quick buck. I'll put a fancy bag together, put a deer on it, maybe get a celebrity endorsement. I'm going to sell it and make some money. Sounds great, right? And again, my thing is I see so many poorly formulated products, so many products on the market that are not nutritionally sound. They're not actually balanced mixes. Some mixes contain a bunch of cheap seeds that deer do not prefer to eat. Big price point, big profit margin. So again, what's happened is the industry as a whole, so many people are confused. Some people don't know what to buy. Everybody's got the best seed. Everybody's got a great story. But marketing 101, guy that was involved with one of the most famous marketing campaigns in the United States for beer manufacturer. Talking to him, I'm like, well, how do you appeal to the average consumer? In the wildlife industry, it's get a celebrity endorsement, right? But it's because why plant that mix? How does it work? And those are the things that people do not know, because very few people in the industry are willing to educate. And that's why I came in to the industry using my background to try to educate people, to have them make a sound long-term, not short-term, sound long-term investment with their wildlife management program.
Wildlife management, land management. We got 6, so we're going on 9 hours of this discussion. Why? Because everybody thinks they know everything about it. And yeah, that's tongue in cheek, but sometimes we're our own worst enemies because we're sitting at the bar, we're playing euchre, darts, pool, and somebody says, well, I got blah, 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 blah. Look at the deer I killed last year. And neither of them know what the heck they've got. And so education as we go forward at Whitetail Rendezvous, we're going to educate people. And by educating people, then you're going to say, hey, you ought to listen to this series from Whitetail Rendezvous, and we'll go from there. And so when you buy a bag of seed, here's what I understand from especially a big box store. On the tag, it says inert matter, and really 25 pounds of seed, living, breathing, germinating seed, 90% seed. You really don't know what you have, because a lot of that 25, 30% of that weight of that bag is nothing but that inert matter. Could be coating, could be, weed seed. You just don't know. So how's the guy or gal really know what the heck they're buying?
And that's one of my little pet peeves. One of those little things that I try to educate by going on social media at various sites. That's the pro and the con again with Facebook and other online hunting related forum areas. I can use my education and show pictures, observations, teaching tools, how to calculate pure life seed, things like that. But then the downside is you get people that just post a picture of a really nice deer, like you mentioned. I use this seed mix. That's all you got to do on your property. Not so simple. Every property is unique. Your properties that you're on, Bruce, are unique. Grandpa Ray's farm property is unique. We got your piece of land that's on the opposite side, my piece of land on the opposite side of the road from my mom and dad's house. Same farm, right? Unique. So again, every little area of land is unique with different solutions. And again, your Pure Life seed, your coating. Very, very few people truly understand that most basic concept. And again, I know we touched on this in other segments in the past, but let me disclaimer. There's a time and a place for everything. Coating. There is some seeds that, do have a benefit to have coating on them. And again, in the industry, typically people are looking at profit margin, price point for the means to use it. But yet again, there is some advantages of coding, time and place for everything. Understand when they are, understand what you're actually buying, make your own sound decision on, okay, I know there's coding in here, but I don't care. This is why I'm buying it. As long as you answer that because or why, more power to you. At least you're educated.
Yeah, and thanks for that. Then the other thing is, when I look at, the bag of seed, and this, folks, hear this loud and clear. Don't even think about having a food plot unless you do the soil test. John?
Well, I'm going to give you an analogy that I've used on occasion. You like to go hunting. Do you ever sight in your gun before opening day, or do you just go grab your gun, go hop in your deer stand? I'm thinking, how many hunters don't sight in their gun? Very few, right? Well, why would you not take a soil test? I had a guy yesterday ask, he's like, well, should we just use the average for my area with their soil survey? And again, why we want to take a soil test? We're not gambling. 90% of the people across the United States are deficient in potassium. That means 90% of the people are not putting the right fertilizers down or enough of it. Again, soil sampling is not just about the now. Everybody thinks just pH. It's not just about the now. It also can be a measuring tool to monitor your program, and I recommend doing it every 2 years. Get a sample this year. 2 years from now, working with John, we're supposed to be fertilizing right. We probably are. But let's monitor to see, well, have we been doing things right? Another factor that comes into play why we also want a soil sample. You could use a generic recommendation. Put down 200 pounds of a triple 15 fertilizer. What happens if we have a droughty year? Don't have much growth. Guess what? We built up our nutrient levels in the soil because the plants didn't utilize it. Okay, alternative side of it. What happens if we have a super wet year with a lot of rain, pounding rain? Could a lot of that fertilizer got not utilized, leached through the root zone, other factors that could come into play environmentally? People don't think about it. That's another reason why we want to take a soil test. Not just about the now, looking at the future and evaluating our own success in the past 2 years.
I'm hearing, soil tests that I gotta have, but then Mother Nature jumps in, and people out there who are farmers and ag people, they know that they can do everything positively right. They got satellite imaging. They know the moisture content of this section, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they know everything. Mother Nature comes in and burns it up, drowns it out. The crops you got standing crops in a hurricane, not a hurricane, a tornado comes through. So what did you do wrong? Absolutely nothing. And that's one thing I wanted to get through on this segment today. You could do everything by the book, and you still don't get the result. Why? Because Mother Nature sometimes is a cruel master. She just is. And you've got to make allotments for that. And that's why in Jesse Saban and land management, John, microplots, kill plots, staging plots, rest stops, call what you want, but these small little plots maybe will save your bacon in years when that happens. Your thoughts, John?
Yeah, and so here I'll throw something at you. If I had to sum up what I recommend, my program for my customers is risk management. How do we reduce risk? We have multiple plots in different areas. How else do we reduce risk? Everything I sell that's a premix blend has something that grows fast, which we want. Helps get a canopy to reduce weed growth. We want to have something that tolerates dry. We want to have something that tolerates wet. In some years, and especially in Wisconsin, we'll see where it's too wet, and all of a sudden a month from now it's too dry. You just plant a straight basic mix with 2 seeds or 1 seed. Just plant oats in the fall. Just plant a mix with chicory and ladino clover. Works great when it's hot. Works great when it's cold. Works great when it's dry. Works great when it's wet, right? No. And that's why the farming community, my background, which I'm bringing to the wildlife industry, I call it managed intensive nutrition. It's risk management reduction. What we're doing is whatever Mother Nature throws at us, we have a diversity of species. And the rule of thumb with managed intensive nutrition is never plant less than 3 species on one block of land. In a lot of cases, we're doing 5 and 6. And what we're doing is we're using a species, like I mentioned, that tolerates, we're using multiple species that tolerates a variety of conditions, because unless even Nostradamus, I mean, there might be a Nostradamus out there, but even your local weatherman, does he really know what the weather is going to do this year? Maybe you believe in the Farmer's Almanac? It's not that simple. It just doesn't happen that way. Mother Nature always comes into play, and whatever she throws at us, what I'm working with people is to, not that we're ever going to be perfect, which is impossible, but we're going to be prepared and flexible and offer multiple options to do a better job of handling less than ideal situations.
That comes all the way back to land management. When you do your land management, figure, okay, where are the optimum locations for my food plots? And then once you have that laid out, those 4 or 5 places, it takes the guessing out of it. You're really thinking through, and you're managing your property for 1 year through 3 years through, 20 years, hand down to your kids. And sometimes I see people get so excited, me included. Hey, I'm going to put in what do you think I need on this trail, John? We'll put in this and this and do this and do this. Okay, go out there and bounce around. Then the water comes down the ridge, and it poured last summer in Wisconsin, so all my seed went away. Every bit of it. So I got to redo the whole thing. But anyway, you think about that, folks. Just go on YouTube. There's plenty of places to go that you can get insight to say, oh, I didn't think about that. Because this growing deer and shooting deer is supposed to be fun and interesting, but we're supposed to learn, and we're supposed to do it better. So collectively, when you hand off that piece of land to the next person, you got to get something going on. And that's my 2 cents. I mean, Madison, Wisconsin, this weekend we got Deer and Turkey Classic, or what do they call it, Expo?
That's the Deer and Turkey Expo.
Yeah, and so that's on April 6th, and the show will air after that. But throughout the country, these expos for deer and for turkey, and it's huge. And so when you go to those, take a notebook, go to seminars, take notes, seek out the seminar speaker, or go to guys that are selling stuff and check out and just say, well, what kind of filler do you have in here? What's your tag say? How do I read your tag? All those types of things. Get smart, because it's your money. It really is. It's your money, and more than that, it's time. John?
Yeah, I think so many people are even afraid to challenge some of these people. I mean, you hear it all the time. It's like, well, this celebrity says that it's good. He's known as being an expert in the industry. That's all you got to worry about. But then again, in a lot of cases, that's blind faith. What really made that guy an expert? Has that expert has been pushing that seed mix, that variety? Is he an agronomist? Is he a nutritionist? What makes him an expert? People are afraid to challenge these people. For me, I love it. I thrive on it. I probably talk too much about it when somebody asks me questions. But again, and I've had other people that have came to me at these shows. They're like, well, you know what? I was just at this other booth. I asked him some questions. He didn't have a great answer. That's why I came to you. That's why I'm buying from you. And again, that's my gripe with the industry is there's very few people that do it for a living 24/7, 365 days. The industry is made up of people that have another job. They go to some shows. They have blends that they put together based on either copying or using a lot of the same concepts from another company that's done the same thing from another company that's done the same thing from another company. And there's very few. I'm one of the few companies out there that has multiple research and education plots and areas of land. Because as I was listening to you open up the segment, my point is, even myself, which I truly believe that I am an expert in my field, not because I really believe I'm all that smart. It's just because I've done this for so many years, so many repetitions. Guess what? You can't rest on your own laurels. That's why I do research, because, again, what I know is one thing. What I don't know, what I'm willing to learn, what research will tell me, truly that would make me even more of an expert this year, next year, in the future. Same deal with anybody planting food plots. Guys might have done it for 15 years. They think they know it all, or they feel they're very knowledgeable about what they do. They could be, but there's so many new technologies, different products that I'm bringing to the industry to help people to do better. And again, that makes it not just work, it can be fun. You know what? Let's test things out. Let's learn more. Let's compare to what we did. But most of all, let the deer tell us a lot, because the deer is really, truly the expert. Not me, not Bruce Hutchin, not the other guy down the liver line, not the PhD. It all comes down to, what does the deer tell us?
And we're going to end that segment with that thought, because the deer will tell you everything you need to know to help them grow, increase their habitat, and to hunt them. But so many times we just don't read the book. And with that, we're going to close section 1 of Food Plots with John O'Brien, Grandpa Ray Outdoors. And John, how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to reach out and challenge some of your concepts?
Yeah, my phone number is 608-235-0628. Best times are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or you can email me at O'BrienAg, which is OBRIONAG @gmail.com. And again, I welcome questions and challenges. It helps keep my brain sharp, and I can also learn from each of you guys.
Thanks, John. We'll be right back, folks. Hey, folks, a special edition of Whitetail Rendezvous is coming. I've asked 3 companies, Land & Legacy, Rackology, and Grandpa Ray Outdoors, to be part of a series on land management and food plots. So the next few episodes, about 18 of them, in fact, are going to be about either land management or food plots. Why? Because people have been asking me a lot of questions. So I went out and chatted with some guys, and Adam Keith and Matt Dye from Land & Legacy is joining the crew. And at Rackology, we have Jason Obermiller and Eric Fitzgerald. And rounding out the team is Grandpa Ray Outdoors with John O'Brien. Each of them is going to bring a different flavor on what is land management, what are food plots, why you need them, the pros and cons. So listen up to this next series, and I sure hope you like them. If you like them, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know what I can do better. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.